Now, Super Bowl 58 is a tale as old as time. On one hand, you have the golden boy, the chosen one, Patrick Mahomes leading the Chiefs. And on the other hand, Mr. Irrelevant, right? The ugly duckling, last pick of the draft, Brock Purdy, leading a 49ers organization that we know has won many Super Bowls in the past. So, when we're breaking down this game, and there is a ton of different caveats to look at, there's one key to each side that I think is going to end up making the difference. One, if you're the San Francisco 49ers, you cannot get off to a bad start like you have the last two games. You were able to get away with it against the Packers, who didn't have a lot of experience in the playoff with the current roster they have now. You're able to slip by at home in the bad weather at the end. The Lions basically handed you the game in the second half due to bad decision-making and dropped passes. But if you get behind this Kansas City Chiefs team, which is one of the most complete teams in the NFL, especially with the way the defense has been playing in the second half, they are not going to let the foot off the throat. Patrick Mahomes and this unit, regardless of how talented they are compared to the two they've played before, is not going to give you a breath of fresh air or open up the door for you to come back. When they smell blood, they're like a shark in the water. And if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, it's pretty simple. The game plan is very important. We know that. The scouting report is very important. But where the Chiefs have not only been winning, but dominating, it's been in the second half adjustment battle. That's where the game is really won or lost. You don't know exactly what somebody is going to do to you until they actually do it. But the way the Chiefs have adjusted in the second half has really made the difference, and then being able to get back to the Super Bowl to add to what already has been a dynastical run, as maybe Travis Kelce and a few others drift off into the sunset after. Either way, it should be a hell of a game. I hope it comes down to the wire. We're going to keep breaking it down. But Blaine, former Western Colorado wide receiver, sitting to my right. Replacement cones there. Obviously, David's going to let you know why he's not here. But give me one key for the Kansas City Chiefs to beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, I mean, it's the key that's brought them to the greatness that they are, and it's the connection between Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. You go back and look at these last three games. I mean, go back to look at the Ravens, over 100 yards. Game before that, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. Game before that, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. It all starts with their best players, and that is Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And you look up the lineup that they will have against the 49ers, against Fred Warner, against Greenlaw. They will be matched up in man coverage. If you are the 49ers, one, how do you stop that? And two, you got to take their best player out of receiver, and I believe that is Isaiah Pacheco. One thing about the 49ers, let's look at their weakness. And what is that? They don't stop the run that well.
Yeah.
And you go back and look at the Lions game. Lions had, I believe, 180 yards on the ground. And the Chiefs are an extremely balanced football team. It all starts with Isaiah Pacheco. And if they can live to that 4 to 5 yards of play, that only sets up what? It'll set up Patrick Mahomes. It'll help these receivers out. And it'll also hurt the 49ers probably where they lost their Pro Bowl safety, and that's in the back. And so if I'm the Chiefs, you have to get the run game going, and that will open up the Travis Kelce, the Rashid Rice, the big explosive plays that we haven't really seen from the Chiefs all year.
Yeah, well, the interior offensive line for the Chiefs has been playing really well, and
No
agree.
Joe Thuney. He's going to be out.
Yeah, I know. They've seemed to make up for every deformity they've had throughout the year. That's one way to put it. But I think you're 100% correct. You're not going to be able to stop the pass game or the play-action game. I don't think Patrick Mahomes and this offense gets enough credit for what they do off play-action. If you don't stop the run, and we're not saying you shut it down totally, but if the Chiefs are going to live in 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 2 and even 3rd and 4, and they've got a two-way go, you don't know whether it's run-pass, they're going to kill you. The best way to stop Travis Kelce is to get their ass in 3rd and 8. And it's passing. So at the end of the day, you do get him in 3rd and passing. We know what Rashid Rice has been, but you got to focus on Travis Kelce, right? Whether that's running 2-man. We've seen Travis line up in the hip. We've seen him line up flexed out, right? Hell, they could put him outside if they wanted to. We see him in the slot and motioning and do all that. But if you take him away, Justin Watson, you're going to have to beat me. Valdez-Scantling, you're going to have to beat me. I know you've done it the whole playoffs, but you're going to have to show me that you can keep doing it. But you cannot get in 3rd and 3, let that play action hit, and all of a sudden Travis Kelce's running around like the girl from The Sound of Music, just wide ass open on top of the mountain. But on the other side, when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, right, and what they have to be able to do to beat the San Francisco 49ers, What's one key there for you?
For the Chiefs or the 49ers?
Well, the 49ers have to stop Travis Kelce, you said, right? But you said
I said the Chiefs. No, I said the Chiefs.
So for the 49ers, yes, the inverse.
So for the 49ers right now, and I mean, this Chiefs defense have picked up a little bit in the playoffs, but throughout the year, they weren't great against the run. And who do you have at running back if you are the 49ers? My opinion, the best running back in the NFL, and that's Christian McCaffrey. You don't only need to get him going in the running game, but you need to get him going in the passing game. If I'm the 49ers, I'm probably running a lot of screen game early to CMC because these DNs for the Kansas City Chiefs will get upfield, and they will get upfield quick. And another thing, Brock Purdy, you have to limit mistakes. All right? You cannot come out here, one, get balls batted, and throw 2 interceptions. You will not win against this Chiefs team if you have more than 1 turnover. So that's a big thing. And another thing is, to my opinion, Brock Purdy's legs on third down. You go back in the last couple weeks, Brock Purdy has made impact plays on third downs. And Brock Purdy was the difference. A lot of people want to talk about, we hate this saying, game manager. He's not going to lose it for you, but he's not going to win it for you. Brock Purdy made a couple plays last week that won them that football game. So can he be the same guy? But the only thing that worries me is this. Right now, the line, I believe, is plus 2.5. Patrick Mahomes is 10-1 when he's an underdog against the spread.
Follow the signs.
10-1. Look, and I know probably the public's money's on the Chiefs.
I'm betting against them.
Probably 7. Look, I bet the Chiefs the whole playoffs, not because I want them to win, all right? Because, look, I mean, the last thing I want to do is see Taylor Swift 60 times on Super Bowl, which is going to happen. But my guy's 10-1 against the spread. And at some point, you got to lay your money, and you got to lay your money with the public.
Well, the problem in defending the 49ers is they have so many players. I mean, you can't double everybody. I mean, you got so many impact guys. They're going to sit in 11 personnel. What are you going to do, load the box? And now you're just one-on-one with Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and Jawan Jennings.
You got to pick your poison, but you just can't let Christian McCaffrey be.
You can't, but if you're lining up in 11 personnel, what I'm going to do, just stuff. I mean, the Chiefs have been really good in the back end with L'Jarius Sneed, the way they're playing in the secondary. But that to me is the most fascinating part, right? If you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, I would much rather rob Peter to pay Paul to stop Christian McCaffrey, like you're saying, and take my chances, down the field with the periphery guys that can still beat you, rather than letting Christian just run up and down the field on me. But you brought up the batted balls comment. Chris Jones has been so good. Not, I always say a batted ball is almost as good as a sack. So if you're the 49ers, are you getting the ball out quick on the outside? Are you trying to frustrate the Kansas City Chiefs defensive line to maybe get those hands down so Brock Purdy has better windows to throw through? How do you do that? You do it wide and you do it quick.
Yeah, it kind of brings me back to my point earlier. I think a lot of it's going to do with the screen game. I really do. The screen game, how many end arounds are we going to see with Deebo? Right? How many bubble screens, the RPO with CMC, are we going to see from
especially in the red zone?
Yeah. So if it's me, I'm making this Chiefs defense run. You're going to have to run. So it's hard to beat these guys downhill. All right, with Chris Jones, Nick Bolton, with the guys that have in the interior that brought the other linebacker.
You got to beat them side to side.
You have to. It's like the Georgia defense to me, which I know I got disproven against in their matchup against Alabama. Alabama whooped their ass between the tackles, but it's hard to beat this Chiefs team between the tackles. So it's screens. We're going to stretch you laterally, and then we're going to hit you down the field.
Hey, YouTube, what's up? I got my boy band jacket on. So why don't you sing your ass on over to the subscribe button. Hit it. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. We appreciate it.